Well, hello everybody. Welcome again to another episode of Facts and Fatherhood. As I always say, I am so happy, so grateful to have this opportunity to be with you, to be sharing with you in this fatherhood podcast. I am so hopeful that as we share and as we spend time together, that you will get so much out of what we have to share. Listen, I am so excited about this podcast. It's been something that's been on my mind. As those of you who watched the intro video, you know it's been something that's been on my mind for some time, something on my heart for some time. I don't have the answers for everything, but I do believe that I have some tools and some things that can really help us in our job as dads. By the way, if you don't know this, you're going to know this about me. I love being a dad. I love being the father. I love the duty. I love the job. It is the toughest job. As I told you before on one of the t-shirts I wear, it says it is the toughest job you will ever love. Well, I love it. And I hope to inspire men all over the place to love being a father the way I love being a father. It's tough sometimes, it is rough sometimes, it's hard sometimes, but here's the thing. It is absolutely rewarding to just hang in there, and all the things that you may have to overcome, all the things you may have to endure, all the things that may go on, it is important for you to just hang on in there, okay? So I hope to encourage fathers from every spectrum, from young dads who are just now getting involved in this, to those of us who now are in that middle area of having young adult children who've really just kind of started to make their interest into the adult world, to even maybe grandpas, who have children that are coming in. Speaking of grandfathers, I already told y'all I am officially a grandpa. And you know what? I don't need any fancy names. I'm okay with being called Pawpaw, Grandpa, of course, the grandchildren, they're going to call you whatever they want to call you. So, whatever my grandson decides to call me, but I'm okay with being called Pawpaw. It doesn't make me feel old. I'm okay with being called Grandpa. It doesn't make me feel old. If I had a choice, I would choose to have him call me Saba. That's how you say grandpa in Hebrew. One of my favorite languages, but I'm not going to get into that today. But anyway, welcome back to the podcast. This is episode number 2. We had some technical issues on last week and some trouble, but listen, we're episode 2 and we are here. We're going to bring you this content. There are so many things that we have planned. So many ways we're going to expand this, so many conversations we're going to be engaging in and having as we go along, so many tools we want to provide. So before I go any further, the first thing I need you to do, I need you to share this podcast. I need you to subscribe. I need you to make sure you hit the bell so you can get the notifications whenever we have new content posted. I need you to participate with me in this podcast, okay? There are some things that we'll be doing later on, some giveaways and all that kind of good stuff like that we'll be able to get into. But right now, we're trying to actually build our listening audience and just get this podcast spread all over the place, because I feel like this is going to be so beneficial and so helpful. We're going to have some great conversations. We're going to be able to provide some great tools and just so many things that we have that we really want to be able to do to this podcast. And listen, if you hadn't found out by now, I'm a Texans guy. I really like the Texans. I love the Texans. That's my football team. So you'll probably see a lot of Texans stuff on, me wearing the gear and all that kind of stuff like that. So just go with it. Okay. But listen, Today, I want to really focus on a few things. First of all, as I told you, December is this is the Launching Up podcast, and so I want to dedicate the entire month of podcasts, all of the podcasts that we do on every Fatherhood Friday, because it is Fatherhood Friday. Every podcast that we do during the month of December is dedicated to the memory of my dad, Mr. Prentice Edward Wilson. He was such a great person. If you would have had an opportunity to meet him, those of you who did have an opportunity to meet him, you know that he was such a great person. I am so grateful that the Father allowed me to have the father that I had in him. No, he was not perfect. And that's one of the things, that's one of the main things that you will hear me stressing all the time. Dad, the requirement is not for you to be perfect. Okay, if the requirement was for you to be perfect, nobody would actually be able to do the job. But here's the thing, you don't have to be perfect to be present. And that's what we want. That's what I'm stressing. I am stressing, Dad, you don't have to feel the obligation to be perfect. You don't have to feel the obligation to be Superman. I almost felt like giving you the Bill Cosby. I didn't do it, but you, my children know sometimes I like to try to do, Bill Cosby with Jada. But listen, I am encouraging you. You don't have to be perfect to be present. And so I'm grateful for my dad. December the 12th was actually his birthday. Just passed this past Thursday. This is yesterday. It's his birthday. And he would have been 79 years old. He would be 79 years old tomorrow. Yesterday, sorry. He would have been 79 years old. And I'm grateful for the time that we had with him. I miss him. Miss being able to call him and tell him happy birthday. Miss being able to call him and just hear him talk and preach to me and tell me his Sunday school lesson and his Bible study that he had been involved in. I have his Bibles and he has all kind of notes and stuff like that. Those things are very, very precious to me. But I just wanted to just give a little bit of a tribute to my dad. If y'all don't mind, just indulge me for just a few moments. I want to give a little tribute to my dad. As my I don't want to call him my old man. My son would say old man. That's what my oldest boy calls me. My oldest son calls me old man. My children call me different things. My oldest son calls me old man. My youngest boy calls me Pop, or my youngest son calls me Pop. And then my daughter calls me Daddy. Yeah. You see that emphasis? I wish I could do it. I can't do it. Daddy. Yeah. I wish I could do that. No, I can't do it. But anyway, that's what she calls me. So my children, they all call me different things. And then my daughter too, she just chooses to call me Pop, just like her husband does. My youngest son, the one that's, yeah. And so I'm so grateful. By the way, I love my children. You guys will see them on this podcast, not just on those pictures that I have, some of those precious pictures that I have. You'll actually see them on. They're going to be on with me sharing here. Okay. So I want you just to take a few moments with me. I want to do something really special, and I just really want to play this little tribute for my dear dad, okay? So y'all just enjoy this video here for just a few moments, and I will be right back.
Would you know my name if I saw you in heaven? Would it be the same if I saw you in heaven?
Well, y'all, that was him. That was Mr. Prentice Edward Wilson. He loved the scriptures. He loved his family. He loved the Father. And he left a legacy of a love of the word with me. Something I tried to pass on to my children. Looks like they grabbed a hold to it. Okay. I am so grateful for the opportunity that the Father gave me to be his son. All right. He left us, he left him here with us for about 73 years. Okay. He allowed me to have him as my father. And I am so grateful for that. And so that is what this podcast for this month of December is dedicated to the memory of my dear departed dad, Mr. Prentice Edward Wilson. Now, I'm going to play that video on every single podcast this month that we share. And I'm so grateful to actually be able to do that, to just dedicate this to him. He's not here to actually see this podcast. He probably would definitely be sharing in this podcast if he was on. But here's the funny thing. The funny thing is I think about the wisdom that he shared with us quite often. When I was younger, there were certain things that the man said. I had no clue. What is he talking about? Okay. You talking, what are you saying? He would say stuff like waste not, want not. Well, what does that mean? Well, what he was saying is if you are wasteful, you will be wanting. That means if you are wasteful, that means you'll waste what you have. And that means you'll be lacking because you'll be needing it later on. So you would say waste not, want not. We don't waste anything around here. Okay. Just a little wisdom that he would have. And of course, one of my favorite things that I've actually kind of passed on to a lot of people that y'all probably hear me say on here quite a bit. And that is, boy, don't let the devil fool you. I laugh every time I say it. But here's the thing. He left a lot of wisdom, and I'm grateful for the wisdom that he gave that he left. Today, I want to talk to you for a few moments. Okay? I want to talk to you for a few moments about how much you are needed. Listen to me, Dad. Listen to me, Dad. Young dad, older dad, middle-aged dad, wherever you are on the spectrum, you are needed. We, the family, need you. And not only are you needed, man, let me tell you from me, let me tell you dad to dad, you are appreciated. Okay? You are appreciated for all that you do. You may not always feel that way. You understand? When you get the tie, the tie you'll probably never wear on Father's Day, when you get the box socks. I want you to know you are appreciated. Your contribution, your giving, your working, your laboring, all the things you do. Okay. You are needed and you are appreciated. You're needed for more than just your money. I know sometimes it seems like you wear a baseball cap that says bank. You have a t-shirt on that says bank with a Superman emblem on it. Okay. I know it feels that way. And perhaps maybe if you don't wear bank, you wear something that says ATM. Maybe you have a tattoo on your forehead that says ATM, but you are needed for more than just those things. You're needed for more than just money. Okay. You are essential. All right. The word that is used, one of the original words that is used, and some people argue if it's Aramaic, if it's Hebrew, it's in there, but the word that is normally used, that is referred to as the Hebrew Aramaic, is the word Abba. Okay, ABBA is how that would look in a transliterated form. Okay, I'm not going to get into like all the Hebrew alphabets and all that kind of stuff like that, because that was just a lot of stuff. But the word Abba, and you know what it actually means? It actually means in the original language, it means strength of the house. Wow. Huh? It means strength of the house. So with dad being in the house and dad being a male person, okay, dad is, in order to be a dad, that's not in any way, shape, form, or fashion trying to be offensive to anyone. It's just the reality that to be a dad, to be a father, requires you to be a male. Okay, so a male person who is dad, who is father, who is in the home, is the strength of the house. And here's the thing. The mom and the dad, they both add different dynamics, right? Sometimes the personality is a little bit different. Sometimes the personality or the roles or whatever that are in the relationship and the dynamics that are in a relationship sometimes change, right? Sometimes dad can be really, I'm more of a, kind of a calm person. By nature, I'm very introverted, which is very interesting that I'm doing a podcast. I'm only doing this podcast because I feel like it can be helpful to people. But by nature, I'm very, very introverted. I'm not just much of a random conversationalist. My children will probably tell you that. You know what's funny? You know what? Look at me. I talk with my hands. My children talk with their hands like me. Maybe I should stop talking with my hands. I don't know. But I like talking with my hands. I feel like I'm really sharing. I feel like I'm really getting it out, when I'm talking with my hands. But anyway, I'm gonna try to, calm that down just a little bit. Okay. But I wanted to really just stress and emphasize how much you are needed. There's a lot of statistics out there that I was reading on these different sites, these different family sites, these different parenting sites, these different family court statistics and stuff like that has been shared. And it's alarming. It's alarming. Somewhere between, based on census data, the census data kind of has it in a certain vicinity, and then some other sources kind of put it, but it falls somewhere between 20 million and 25 million children actually live in single parent homes, right? Anywhere between 20 and 25 million children in this United States live in a home without one or the other parent. Now, that's for different circumstances, different reasons why, but 80%, think about that, 80% of those 20 to 25 million children that live in homes, they generally are growing up without a dad. It's alarming. Okay, when you think about that, from anywhere between 20 to 25 million children are living in this United States without one or the other parent. 80%. Whoa, that is alarming. 80% of those children are living without dads. They're living without the strength of the house. That is alarming. But listen, those are statistics. Those are statistics. But here's the reality. We do not have to be in the space where we fall victim or prey to the statistics. Okay? It is pretty much, several sources say that the United States pretty much is the place that has the highest rate of single parent homes or fatherless homes. There's a lot of information out there that talks about what fatherlessness does, how it affects a person, how it causes certain things, or how it's linked to certain things in society, how it's linked to certain behavior. And I really want to spend a lot of time on that, the negative aspect of that. But I'm saying that to say, I'm talking about those things to say that I believe it is vitally important. It is vitally important that we revisit, that we reassert, that we evaluate our participation as dads in the lives of our children. Well, as I think about that statement where it talks about, the strength of the house, I think about the reality that there are two particular things. There's so many things that dad provides, okay, in the home, okay? But there are two particular things I think I want to just kind of emphasize here for just a few moments, okay? The first thing that dad provides, that father provides, is a father provides stability. Now, is that saying that mom does not have any capabilities of providing stability? No, there's a level of stability that comes because generally the mother plays a nurturing role in the life of children. Fathers have a little bit of a nurturing, but the most of the nurturing in the upbringing comes from the mother. Okay, mother is nursing, a lot of times if she chooses to do that, but she's pretty much spending the most time with the children when they first arrive. She gets that bonding experience, that external bonding experience. She's already had the internal bonding experience with the child, but she spends the most time with the child initially. Dad, I was very involved. Listen. I changed diapers. I had spittle up on just about every portion of my upper torso. I've had infamil, breast milk, whatever spittle. Yeah. I experienced it. I changed some of the most ridiculously stinky diapers, ever. Okay, children, listen to me. Though I know my children are watching this, watch this podcast. Listen, guys, you guys were just a little stinky. I don't know how to say that in a nice way, but there were times where y'all were just a little bit stinky. But I would not trade it for the world, because the Father has allowed my wife and I to raise they are out of all the people in the world, they are three of my favorite human beings. I almost didn't get that word out. They are three of my favorite human beings on the planet. Okay. The Father allowed us to be able to bring into this world and raise some of the greatest people I know. Those three. Okay. And I am so grateful. I am so grateful to have had that experience, guys. I appreciate it. I appreciated being your dad. I appreciated having the opportunity to raise you guys. And now I'm excited to see you move into, and we're already starting that process of you beginning to raise your family. But dad provides stability. Dad it's something about having him present in the home that just provides a balance to the dynamic, right? You don't get like over nurturing, and I'm not trying to get into all these, because we're just having a conversation. Remember that we're just having a conversation here. I'm not coming to you as some, the fatherhood guru. I know all the things that I need to share with you so that you little bitty peons of dads can learn these processes from me. Whatever. That's not what this is about. This is a conversation. Okay. This is dad to dad saying to you, I just want to encourage you. I just want you to understand. We're going to keep this as basic as possible. I just want you to understand. There'll be times we'll have some professionals on and we'll let them do those things. But I'm telling you that I just want to encourage you. You provide a great amount of stability, right? You provide financial stability in many ways. Okay, I know roles and stuff like that are different and changes. Sometimes mom makes more than dad and all those kind of different things like that. But you still provide. You still contribute to the stability, all right? That the dynamic of the stability that is in the home. The home is more stable when there is both mom and dad present, right? And listen, there's things out there for mom. This podcast is for dads, so I'm not excluding the moms in any kind of way. I'm just saying that I just really want to talk about the reality that dad, you contribute to stability that is in that home. Sometimes it is necessary and needful, right? That you hear that strong voice of a father. My children will tell you, I had moments where I kind of elevated my voice, but I did not raise my voice a whole lot. My youngest son tells me that, he knew he needed to do something different when my eyes changed. I'm still trying to really sort it out, but he said my eyes changed. So, yeah. So, but there's stability, right? They grew up in a home that was stable. All right. The main thing, though, that dad provides. Dad, you give your children a sense of identity. Isn't that interesting? You give your children a sense of identity. They frame a lot of understanding who they are as individuals by what you say to them, about what you model for them, about what you do in front of them, right? The dynamics of the things that you do. And that's one of the reasons why I try to be very transparent. There came a point in time where, as my children started to grow, there's a level of transparency that I really tried to provide to them. I tried to show them the reality that, hey, I am not perfect, right? One of the things I did with my dad when my youngest son was probably close to 1, my twins were on the way. I just kind of had this thought that I realized, like, man, wait a minute. As now I'm into this role of being dad, I feel like, wow, oh my goodness. If I feel this way, I'm sure my dad felt this way. And then I realized, oh my gosh, he did the best he knew how to do. I called him and I said, listen, Dad, I just want to tell you thank you. He says, well, son, what do you thank you for what? I said, well, Dad, I just wanted to tell you, he's really slow, Southern country drawl. I said, Dad, I just really wanted to tell you thank you because I realized that you did the best that you knew how to do. You did the best. You gave me the best that you had. And I want to tell you thank you. I realized that once I became a father, that like, wow, this is an awesome responsibility, right? But you get a sense of identity from your dad. I was watching a video not long ago on social media. I would play the video, but I don't necessarily have the fair. I want to make sure that I, get in. But we'll get into all that stuff. Maybe later on I'll play it. But I want to make sure I stay in alignment with fair usage. But the video was so powerful. The guy in the video was an older gentleman, looked to probably be in his mid-50s. And on the video, it had the caption that said, after not seeing his dad for like a long time since he was a little boy, he sees his dad for the first time. This young man, his dad steps out of the car. He calls him by his name, say, hey, how you doing, or whatever, greets him. And this young man almost buckles to his knees. And I say young man is relative. Again, he's probably in his mid-50s, that's my assumption from the video. But he almost buckles to his knees and he begins to cry as if he's a baby. He actually wails once he gets closer to his dad to like put his arms around him to hug him. And it was just like a very touching scene. And you would think somebody's like, oh, how ridiculous, a grown man. And he's doing all that stuff and he's crying like he's a little bit. Well, he hadn't seen his dad since he was a boy. And seeing his dad in that moment just brought an overwhelming amount of emotions. And it's like he went to his dad and him and his dad embracing. It's almost like he was hugging his dad as if he were a little boy. It spoke to me. I was like, man, that is so apropos to the reality of how needed that is. I mean, and then he started talking to me, says, boy, you look like me or whatever. And he was so happy. He was beaming, right? Because dad told him he looked like him, right? My boys, they look like me, they do. But dad, you give your child identity. It's interesting that in most cases, under normal circumstances, guess whose name the child bears? The child bears your name. I'm not talking about you first, although sometimes that is the case. I don't have a junior. Really didn't want a junior. But my sons, my children, they bear my name. My not my given name. It's my last name. It's in the context of the culture that we here in the United States, we have last names. That's my last name. My children bear my last name. It speaks of a reality that I give them identity. Their identity comes from me, right? The blood type, all those it comes from me. Dad, you give your children identity. I tried to do everything I knew to do to try to speak to my children along the lines of their identity. I'm going to tell y'all some secrets about some things as we kind of look. And like I told y'all before in the very first podcast, listen, the basis of everything that I talk about is from the scripture. I believe in the principles of the Bible. I believe in the principles of the scripture. So everything that we talk about, and that is unapologetic. Okay. I am unapologetically, I can't get it out tonight, y'all. Unapologetic. Maybe I should not try to say that word. I'm going to leave this in the video too. But I'm unapologetic about the reality. I think I got it right earlier. I am unapologetic about the reality I hold to the scripture. I believe in the scripture. My dad gave me a love for the scriptures, a love for the word, and I believe in the word. So we talk about the things on this podcast from the basis of the word. Okay. Now, maybe that's not for some people, but hey, dad, whoever it's for, I'm telling you, the stuff that I have to share with you works. Okay. But I want you to know you provide so much stability and you provide identity to your children. Your children should leave your house, leave your home. Your children should leave from your rearing and from your raising, knowing who they are. Yes. They should know. They should have a sense of identity, a sense of direction. I'm so excited. But as a matter of fact, with that in mind, again, don't forget, y'all, share this podcast, like this podcast, subscribe to the podcast. As a matter of fact, I'm excited to report to you that at some point in time, you are going to be able to have a wonderful resource in your hand. You can be looking for this to come out some point in time. See that? Like arrows in my hand. We're going to be talking, a lot of stuff y'all hear me talking about on the podcast is going to come directly from this particular source right here. It's going to come directly from this particular source right here. Okay, look for this. You'll be hearing about the release date and the book signings and all those kind of different things like that coming pretty soon. So listen, just look for that. Okay, I'm excited to be able to share those things with you. But I want you to know that you are needed. We need you for stability. We need you for identity. We need you to be present in the house. We don't need you to be perfect. We need you to be present. We need you to be there. And listen, I want to tell you, you are needed. You are appreciated. Thank you for everything you do. Hang in there. You can do this job. It gets frustrating at times. Sometimes there's disappointment. Sometimes you just don't feel it. But the reality is if you will do what you have to do, I'm here to tell you that it is one of the most rewarding experiences ever to see your children walk out and begin to move out into the fullness of who they have been created to be. To see them begin to make inroads, to begin to make impact, to see them begin to just move in the direction, the positive direction of life, and to really take those lessons and things that they learned that they didn't always appreciate, to take those things from you and begin to just move into excellence in life. Listen, I don't want to keep you too much longer, but I want you to know from me, I want you to know from me that you are important in the life of your children. If you had an opportunity to sit down, as a matter of fact, that's going to be homework for you. Sit down and have a conversation with your child. Do it this week. Do it next week. Sit down and have a conversation with your child. And ask them to tell you what you mean to them. And just listen. You would be surprised. You would be surprised to know how important you are in the life of your child. You would be surprised to know how much they need to hear you. You would be surprised to know how much they care about what you think. Listen, I can't say it enough. I'm really excited to share this time with you. I hope and I pray that you would stay motivated, that you would stay encouraged, that you would be strengthened, and that you would not allow anything to stop you from learning to love or loving more, being your children's dad. This is fact. Father, I am so that I get to spend this time with you. You're gonna take this journey with me. We're gonna work on this together. I know. Listen, I look forward to you next Friday on the Facts and Fatherhood podcast. See you next time.